Hello, Divine Ones. This is Ashley H.A. Williams for FD 1111 Ministries, home of Tarot, Bible, and Alchemy. So this reading is for the Taurus Full Moon. And I wanted to first let you guys know that all the information will be listed in the description box, including timestamps. So in case you do not want to look at the bay leaf burning, the prayer, the reading, or the astrology associated with this overall video, you can always skip to the next section. Okay, so first I will start off with the focal energy. This is the card that came out for this month, for this moon, okay? And so I say the month because full moons is about releasing. It's about illuminating what's within and releasing it to the divine spirit. New moons are for manifestation. So a couple days, I explained this on the Patreon page, that a few days after a new moon, when the moon is slightly showing, that's when you want to work on your manifestation because the moon is growing in size and increasing. So with that being said, the energy for this full moon, the energy for this month of releasing is the ego. We have here the number 15. So the number 15 is about magic squares, is about magic, working with your magic. But also we have here 1 + 5 = 6. 6 is the number for ego, for flesh, for matter, for carbon, okay? All right, so we have Archangel Jophiel. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts, okay? And I will go into the scripture associated with this reading, with this month, with this releasing towards the end, okay? So first let's get into the astrology. I set that probably about right here. Okay, give me a second. I am a spirit-led reader, meaning that I use these cards, energies with the crystals, spirit animals, etc. to convey the messages for the collective. And I'm obligated to give all of the messages, which may include personal channel messages. And when I say personal, I'm talking about individual. Okay, and I do channel several waves of the collective, so it may not necessarily be my wave, it may be another person's wave, or several different waves at one time. So I had to get that out of the way. All right, so the Taurus full moon, I have some notes here, okay? So as I was mentioning on the Patreon page, that I did for the collective, for the Patreon collective, I did a love and abundance ritual or sacrament over there, in which I had a love and abundance candle. And that's was the energy and the focal energy that we wanted to magnetize into our life, into our 3D existence for that Scorpio new moon. So that was more like a death, burial, and resurrection. So Scorpio does deal with death, resurrection. It deals with the phoenix type of energy. And with that being said, do check out our spirit animal and symbology playlist. I will have that listed in the description box as well. So with that being said, what are we resurrecting? What are we bringing to life? We're bringing to life love and abundance, yes. And so Taurus deals with and is associated with the planet Venus, and Venus is associated with love. But what is being brought to the forefront is our understanding of love and our communication with love. So with this full moon, what we are doing with this earth energy, with this love energy, we are illuminating our fears and our hindrances against love and abundance. So Mercury being in retrograde, which happened on Halloween and will be in retrograde until November 21st, that we're not necessarily focusing on malfunctions with electronics and communication problems with other individuals. What we're doing with this Scorpio energy that we're rolling out of and we're still marinating in is that we're focusing on the inner self. So this will be the second phase of initiation. This will be the Hermit card. This will be that going within type of energy. So Scorpio deals with the psychology and the psyche, the inner deep thoughts. and it deals with introspection. So that's what we're being prompted to do. And Mercury deals with writing. So on the Patreon page that I'm just mentioning this real quick, you can do this on your own. That what I feel like the Spirit is really having us to do is to write our deepest thoughts down. But how does that happen? So we're doing a 7-day challenge that every morning when we wake up, we will be writing down whatever comes to us. It's called free form writing or freestyle writing, where you just write. You don't put no thought into it. You don't stop. You don't ponder anything. You just get up, put the pen to the page and just let it flow. And then you can either burn those pages, or either you can stash those pages until the next time that you feel prompted to bring them up. But it's not necessarily for you to read over. It's more so allowing your subconscious mind to speak. And Scorpio deals with the subconscious mind as well. So with that being said, that with this collapsing, I specifically hear of the ego. And I have to take this moment, I feel like I'm being prompted to discuss the ego and what they will call the ego death. And so there's really no such thing as the ego death. What happens is that is attached to our subconscious mind, that is attached to our shadow self. And so the shadow self is aspects of ourself that has to be brought to the forefront, and then it has to be balanced out. So this is in the symbology of black and white, the swing of the pendulum, all of that stuff, and that you can check out in the symbolism playlist so to get a better understanding of that. I hear Daniel, so I'm not sure if someone is dealing with a Daniel, or if you are prompted to check in the book of Daniel. It's something with Daniel, or if someone, their name could be Daniel or something, or some association with Daniel. I hear that very strongly right now. Okay, give me a second, because it feels like something else is coming through with that Daniel. Daniel has something to say for whatever that may mean for somebody. I'm going to turn the page here. So moving on from that, I have to say what the Divine Spirit has me to say. So with the Scorpio new moon, that was the hunter moon. And so hunting, on the scent of something. And so what the Divine Spirit is saying, that with this harvest full moon, is that we are harvesting what we have put out into the universe. So that hunting, the thing that we have been seeking the most. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants abundance. So with that being said, I look at the timer and it's 333. Unconditional, unbridled love, okay? So with this harvesting, what are we harvesting? Is Taurus associated with? Love, peace, and tranquility. And that's what's coming in. And we have to release our attachments to the ego self. And those attachments is like the frontal part of the brain. And what I mean by that is like the aspects of ourselves, what they would call like the false ego, or either they would call like someone's identity or their persona, if you will. So, for example, someone that is a mother has to have a persona of this or that. Someone that is a boyfriend or a girlfriend has to have a persona of this or that. And it's expectations that we allow other individuals to put on us that has to be shed so we can get down to our real identity. You see how this person right here is wearing a mask? But then imagine this is their higher self, their true self. And that's what's being revealed, especially with this writing, that we're allowing our higher self to speak through the writing. But first what has to happen, that we have to release a lot of that ego, a lot of that fluff out of the way, so you can get down to the true identity. So bullseye, the Taurus, bullseye, hitting that mark. All right. So let me see where the Spirit would like for me to go next. Okay, I feel like what I should be doing before we jump into the actual reading itself, I feel like I should be burning these bay leaves. So I did these bay leaves, and you can check out the video about how I manifest with bay leaves and stuff. And these, oh my gosh, they smell so good. They are such a high frequency herb. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these. I wrote on here, releasing phrases, okay? And so I will be burning these. And while we are burning these, you can concentrate on the flame. You can concentrate on what you're trying to release, okay? And with that being said, that if you want to skip past this, you can go ahead and skip past this. Okay, so first here I have just release, and I always put the phrase now on there because you want to live in the moment. You don't want to be like in the past or in the future, like I'm releasing. I mean, releasing is like an action word because of the ing to it, but I always like to put the word. So we have the lack and the lack mentality, the lack that we are not enough. You are more than enough, okay, for anybody's expectations, including your own. Hurt. A lot of us have to remove the blockages of the hurt self. Woo, look at that one. And that's another thing too, when I was telling you guys that I did with the blockages and all that stuff like that with the Patreon members, that the love candle was very smoky, very, very black, very dark, and there was a lot of pain associated with love and self-love and acceptance as well. Move that back a little bit. Okay, and so it is. Okay, we have our focal energy right here. So I am going to start to pull some cards. Whoa, okay, a lot of energy popping off. I hear the chatter, someone may be really working through their mind space about somebody, and it's really hindering their growth because they're giving their power to someone else. All right, let's see. So we have the High Priestess, like the High Priestess. I did a blog post about the High Priestess, okay? And I did cover that a while ago in a Feminine Fridays as well as a Bible study that I did. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, the Ten of Staffs, High Priestess, of course, in the reverse, and then we have the Five of Cups. And so not being... this feels very strongly related to like the ego, not being fully aware of one's power, of one's self, true self. I have a little bit of bay leaf right there. Okay, and let me grab my energy staff, if you will. Okay. Yeah, that's just what's going on all together. And so with this Taurus full moon, and which is a new beginning altogether, that we really need to really work with our true identity. So the 10 deals with completion. And then we have 2 and the 5, another 10 right there, about wrapping up the old. And so Scorpio is the 10th sign, the death of the old, and then the birth of the new, all right? And that's exactly what is happening for select individuals. Not everybody is resonating in this type of energy. And so this really feels strongly like with these staffs, it feels like someone really authoring something. Someone could be a writer or working on their writing skills. This could just be someone that's manifesting and working with scripting, if you will. And like I was saying with that 7-day challenge, even if you aren't a Patreon member, that's fine. Do it. Google it, see how to do it, or just allow the divine spirit to work through you on what needs to be illuminated, what needs to be brought to the surface. And so this feels like the person, imagine, okay, this is the person and this is what's under the surface. So this may be their ego self, their persona, and then this is the hidden self. But look how much powerful this person looks. All kinds of royal energy permeating off of this individual. Look how confident. This person is confident too, but it looks like a whole lot of hard work to try to put up with that persona, trying to display that persona. But look at her, just chilling, but still has that regal type of energy, that authoritative type of energy, okay? This also looks like the egg of life right there, like all types of ascended information here, okay? I mean, it's so much information coming off of this, and it's all dealing with like the occult knowledge. That's another thing about Scorpio, the occult knowledge, that hidden knowledge that will be brought to the surface, okay? So give me a second. Let me see where I should be going. Okay, so what is specifically hindering majority of the individuals that are watching this video from stepping into this high priestess energy, besides just the ego? Okay, maybe there's 3 different types of individuals. Emotions, yes. And then we have another number 2 right here. And we have the number 2 right there. Dualistic ideals, 2 different sides of the mind. Yes, they can work in tandem, but they can also work against each other. Okay, so it's talking about like the logical mind and the imagination, or the creative mind, if you will, and how they can clash because of the emotions are in the way. So you always are working in your emotions. It's energy that's in motion. So what are you putting that energy into to manifest into the 3D, into the physical? Pleasure, okay, enjoyment, beauty. All right, so that's somebody that is really stepping into that type of information. I keep wanting to say the word information, that type of energy. Another number 10 right here, okay? And then seeing a perspective. And with that, like I was saying, that almost is like really working with the 2 parts of the mind and merging the 2, okay, to be able to see all perspectives. So you see how the eye has all the different rays shining everywhere. Everything is illuminated, okay, and they can see all perspectives. That's another thing about Taurus too, about seeing the perspectives of things and being able to see all those different perspectives, you know, those different wands, those different aspects of yourself, that you're better able to make a sound decision. So we will get to love in a moment, but however, I feel like I should just at least just mention the scripture right now. So I did do a Bible study on this a while ago, and I've mentioned this before, in Matthew 13, and it's the specific one I really want to use is number 31, in which we're talking about the faith of a mustard seed, okay? But to back up, I did another scripture study on this, which was Matthew 13:24 through 30. And this is talking about when you plant your seeds, and how what type of soil are you planting your seeds in. This is another thing about with this Taurus, this earth energy, is like putting your feet and your hands into the soil and releasing all of that lower vibrational energy into the earth, because it needs to go somewhere, okay? And then soaking up that energy that is more conducive for your spiritual evolution, okay? We're talking about the real high vibes. So high vibes doesn't mean just being emotionally like, oh, I'm just so happy, everything's just so cool beans, you know? It's more so about being balanced in your energy. So we have here the number 11 here, like with the pillars of the soul, the pillars of the mind and the soul, and then the middle ground in between. Because that space in between the number 11 is energy too. And so this is talking about being balanced within yourself, okay? And high vibes just mean knowing thyself. That's what it really means, not just always bouncing around being so cheerful and stuff. That's what it really does mean. Okay, so let me see where I shall go from here. Author, I heard author, so someone could be working on an ebook. I also hear branding as well. That brings me to by the time, okay, no, it won't be. Okay, so on 11/11, I will be releasing the spiritual business startup course, in which the Divine Spirit has prompted me to develop this course for spiritualpreneurs to step out and either start a business or either start to grow their business to the next level. Body changes, okay? And so body changes. Body is, like I was saying, the number 6, matter, physicality, even the ego, if you will, and body changes. So all of that physical, it means changing in the physical. That's what it pretty much means. So when your mind has changed, then everything else will change. But no different than when you go to the gym. The first day that you go to the gym is not like you ripped. Not like, okay, I went in a certain way and I came out completely different. No, you have to continuously go to the gym and work out. It's a regimen. It's a commitment. Okay. So if you are committed to the change in your life, you say that you want love and abundance and stability, etc. You have to go through the physical aspects of changing yourself. And changing yourself starts mentally. And once it happens mental, then everything in the physical will match up with that, will pair up with that. Okay. And that's what the Divine Spirit is reminding you. Remind yourself of the commitment that you made when you embarked on this journey, when you said that you wanted something. You have to put yourself through this vigorous training to have it, to make yourself conducive to align with it, to first receive it, and then also to keep it. It's no different than a person that wins a lottery, but they have not went through the mental changes to replicate that abundance, or either to keep that abundance. What happens statistically, they say that most of them end up in debt, even worse than what they were before, either broke. And that's why they have the saying, hard work pays off, blah. I don't necessarily mean, you're going to have to put in hard work regardless, if you do it mentally or if you do it physically or you do a little bit of both. It does require some form of work, okay? So it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily do it the traditional way. I have to have a 9 to 5, not knocking that at all. But whatever it may be, everybody's calling is different. That you do have to put the activations of work into practice, into physicality, okay? Inspiration, 10, and then insight. Okay, first off, this is like the combination of the confirmation of myself and my divine partners, confirmation of our union. However, this could be anybody's confirmation, honestly. Like, first you have to have the inspiration. The inspiration, what inspires you? What inspires you to activate change in your life? What inspires you to make some type of movement when all odds are stacked against you? This could be the number of faith as well. When we have the 6 and the 4, okay? Ideas, sparks, conception, impulse. That's all talking about passion, which causes change, number 10, okay? And then you have here the 24, 42. This could be 6, 8, anything like that, insight. But with that number 8, you have as above, so below. Okay, as one thinketh, so is he or she. And it will play out into the physical. So understanding, awakening, awareness, and self-evaluation. Okay, this is talking about all about that Taurus energy, all about that Scorpio energy paired together. Okay, we're in that type of mixing and culminating type of energy right here, where we're going within to change the inner workings, okay? Yeah, to change that inner workings, okay? All right, so I'm going to pull just a couple more cards, and then we'll wrap up with a quick prayer. All right, so regardless if you're new to the ministry or not, that when you pray, all is God, okay? I do like to use the Christos energy, okay? I do speak love light language, and I do speak the angelic language, okay? So when I pray, it's an audible, all right? Because it goes beyond just the physicality. It goes straight to the spirit, all right? So we have the 7 of earth here. We have the Queen of air, 7 of air, and Queen of earth. Wow, we got some queen energy going on here. We got the divine feminine, the feminine goddesses. And yes, you guys, for the Feminine Fridays, I have been taking a break from that because to finish up side note, is that I'm finishing up the business course and then re-implementing some more effective tools in the ministry to help individuals in the earth energy, in the solid energy here on this earth, So yes, it does happen spiritually, then how I was saying mentally, and then into the earth. But now it's time to put more practical skills into place, more practical tools to sharpen those skills. So we have here the 7 of earth. And the 7 of earth, it says, seeds well planted, a temporary pause in action, unnecessary worry. Like I was saying, for the hermeticist, the hermeticist is single, a hermeticist, a hermit. They're a hermit, okay? They go within to bring things without, meaning outside of themselves. They're a magnet, okay? And this is all talking about that hermit type of energy. We're all talking about that Taurus, scorpionic type of energy going within right now. This is Mercury retrograde. That doesn't mean that like, oh my gosh, like, my phone is going to break or something like that. But what it means though is like that my communication needs to go within myself. And that's what's going on. 7, angelic. The number of angels, angelic communication. That's the type of communication that you need. All right. It's not for somebody to pick up the phone and be like, hey, babe, what's up? Yeah, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But we're on a higher level than that. OK. All right. So give me a second. Let me look at these cards. It's sometimes it can be difficult to look at them through the camera. All right. So, yeah, these are different seeds that have been planted. All right. Some of them are ripened to pick. Some of them aren't. And the divine spirit will let you know which ones are ripened to pick. Okay. And for some, it may not be romantic type of love. A lot of individuals have to work on that self-love. Okay. Okay. All right. So moving on, here we have the Queen of Air, independent, experienced, realistic, witty. Okay. She look at her. She can see the promise right there. It's right in her grasp. Okay. It's right there. Objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in a situation, seeing the humor. That means perspective. We have perspectives on the board again. And then Queen of Earth, another queen. All right. So like I was saying, air, logic, and then grounding into the physical. Okay. Thoughtful, creative, warm, sensible. Sensitive, yeah, because she's sensitive to the ethers, okay? Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner, all right? Giving and receiving. I hear opportunistic. So some new opportunities could be on the board for different individuals. I'm not going to necessarily say a divine feminine. It could be a divine masculine. It could be different individuals. It doesn't really matter more so about the sex of the person. But I feel like I hear new additions. So someone could be expecting some additions, regardless if it's a baby or a return of an individual. Okay, let's see. I will append to this video as well that message about the 2020 recession and how for a lot of the spiritual businesses, they are coming to the forefront, and that whole prophetic message there. Okay. Climbing, I hear climbing the ladder, but some may be in the corporate field, but I really feel like climbing the ladder is like dealing with the spiritual community, the collective. Okay, as soon as I touched this, this is my healing hand. This hand started to feel extra energy. Okay, someone could be climbing in status, but we have on the bottom of the deck right here, the house. So the house can represent the body, can represent the mind. But however, I feel like with one situation, someone has had some type of debacle or arguments in the house concerning some type of relationship and also children. And like it's throwing things off kilter, I hear. But the rectification is coming. This person, now it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a dude. It could be a strong feminine presence, but they may have to leave for a little while before this can turn like in the reverse, arguments and stuff. That energy can be pretty heavy and hard. You see this swan right here, and the swan is like real easy, real gentle, like so gentle they float right on the surface, okay? And they stay in the middle ground, okay? And so one person wants to take off, and that takeoff can mean different things for different people. One takeoff may be like take off and just do my own thing. Another takeoff is like this other type of energy feels like someone that wants to ascend, wants to work more so in their spiritual life. But this other individual right here is like, nah, man, I'm with it a little bit, but now you're getting a little too much out of hand. Now you're getting a little too high and mighty. You know, you're doing a little too much. She could be, now this does feel like a male and a female type of relationship right now. She could be ready to take off, like she ready in her ascension. But however, like her divine partner or her partner, whoever you want to call this individual, regardless if it's the same sex or either if it's like heterosexual, it doesn't really matter. But that he just want to be, or this, I'm just going to say he for simplicity's sake, wants to be surface level. This could also be someone that doesn't want to commit, like she's ready to go deep, or this person's ready to go deep, and this other person like, nah, let's just keep it casual, yo. Okay, another thing too, a court document, some type of, I hear the word persuasion. Someone could be working with a lawyer about some type of case. I said a hidden foul, but like the hidden foul is so old because I seen a floppy disk or something, but the hidden foul, it could be their filing system is messed up or something, and they have lost the document, or the document has been hidden away for so long. And this feels like someone that's going through some type of court decision of some sort that has to be sorted out. But it's like, it's old school though, because I see the people sorting things out by hand and they're not really using the computer. It's like some type of old case. So someone could be someone's family member, somebody like that could have been accused of something, and they found new documentation or old documentation that appears to be new. And another thing, they could have been actually incarcerated for some time or still incarcerated, and they're going up for some type of appeal. Okay, another thing too, here we go. A multitude of individuals. Someone could have a multitude of displays, I hear. So this is a woman, and she has 3 different individuals that she's interested in. The sex, it's not really clear, although these are all dudes right here, but it's not clear about the sex of the individuals. But what's going on is like, she likes the fact that it gives her power that she can have these people on her beck and call, almost like speed dial or something. And it's like display. They're only like trophies. They're not really anything that she takes seriously. Like she tosses them to the side like, yeah, okay. But it's because of the lack of intimacy, her problem with intimacy right here. And that has to be addressed during this Taurus full moon, okay? All right, so I'm gonna pull another card in relation to, I hear Bridget, but I'm in a relation to overall for just the, collective that's watching about this situation and their lover. I had to stop the timer, but in the timer, as soon as I said lover, was at 11:11. Okay, all right, so let's see. Heart-to-heart conversations. Okay, I was just joking about that, but all right, heart-to-heart conversation. Honestly discuss your feelings with one another. That's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, heart to heart, you need to have a heart conversation with your own heart. What do you really want? Let's just be straight up. All that extra fluff, I think a lot of it comes through societal norms of understanding. Love yourself first. So someone is not, that's what I'm saying, heart to heart conversations, man. Like all of this peeling back, I see like peeling back layers, and I specifically see an orange. And these layers retreat. Like how I'm saying, like it's time to disconnect from the world, to go within, hermit mode, okay? Literally that could be disconnecting the phone. I mean, not paying your bill, but like, just like unplugging it, turning it off for a little while and unwind. Because like the thing about the expectation, it's like this, all of us have fallen victim to it with these expectations. So someone expects for you to do something or not do something, and you feel a certain type of way because of those expectations that others have put onto you, and they become your own expectations of yourself. But they're what? The true self. It's just the ego self, okay? that has taken on someone else's energy and expectations, and that's not really the true identity, okay? So maybe I will pull just a few more cards. But while I'm doing that, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button and leaving a comment, that will really help out the channel a lot. I really do appreciate that. And as well, we do have the services listed down below. New love, okay? New love and release your ex. Okay, so real quick, before the new love can come in, like how I said, you have to release the ex. That could be literally an ex-lover. But it doesn't even matter. It matters about this soul contract and about the karmic contracts that have been built up, and releasing all of that energy, okay? Releasing all of that. It's time. The time has come to clear your energy, okay? That's what that means, all right? And before you have that new love coming in. So, like I was saying so I'm going to pull a couple extra cards. But you can check out this blog post, as well as the personal services that will be listed down below. You can get one for yourself, one for a friend or a family member if you like, or a frenemy. I'm just joking. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's just like, okay. Okay. Yeah, it was taking some time. Oh, yes, look at that. Look, like, first of all, let me explain how I was saying before. Spiritual, mental, and then physical, okay? And so it's like I hear a spring, but that spring is more like a flowing spring of water, if you will, or a flow. That's mainly what the Spirit is saying about a spring. It's like the flow of information, higher self, to the psyche, to the mind, and then, it plays out into the physical. Okay, so 𝚎𝚘𝚘, all things are mental. So also check out the spiritual business startup course, like I was mentioning. That sign up just for the notification once it goes live, which will be on 11/11, is also listed down below. Free prayer is listed down below as well. See, here we go. The false self, and then you will have some, I want to say, transactions. So this could be somebody that has a spiritual business and they think they have to do the traditional marketing or do things traditionally, but once you release the false self, then that transactions, that flow of income will start to happen. Another way of how to explain this would be someone that wants some leadway in relationships, but they have to shed the false self, okay? That's another way of how to explain it. And I think I've done all of the announcements, I think so. And we still have love on the bottom, and the death, burial, and then the resurrection of the true self. I think I've done all of the announcements. If not, just check the description box for anything that you may want to check it out there. Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, okay, love, yeah. Reaction, I hear, of the masculine, which is nothing but the rebirth of the masculine through the feminine aspects of the psyche, of the mental faculties, okay? Okay, you guys, I did not forget the prayer at all. Okay, so we're going to take our focal energy right here. And really work with that and concentrate on the flame as I pray. Removing all those obstacles out of the way. Okay, you guys. Amen. Indeed. I'll talk to you later.